Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of our Line Fight Zoom Chats. We have Justin Kwan at the controls and of course Nathan Corbett, fresh from Los Angeles area and back from Kansas after a good weekend, Line Fight 65 this past Friday on UFC Fight Pass. Nathan, I think probably we could chew on everything that happened on that show for quite a while, but let's narrow it down to two quick topics. Let's start with your biggest success story from Line Fight 65.
Yeah, look, I mean, people will probably won't be surprised when I say this name, but I'm going to give you the reason why it is, someone that I want to talk about and I talk about all the time, which is Jake Peacock. Like Jake Peacock, he's 5-0 as a professional. Four of those fights have been on lock since he signed with Lion Fight. He's been knocking everyone out, including Caleb Hunter on Friday night. So the thing that I want to talk about that's such a success story about that fight is because it was the first time that Jake got thrown in there with a clincher, and a very strong clincher at that, and got tested, because a lot of times he's won his fights from long range. He hasn't been clinched up against. He's just been, using his footwork. He's kicking them in the head. He's kicking them in the stomach. He's punching them. He's chopping their legs. He's staying away, staying long, almost like a kickboxing kind of a style of a fight. Not really, going into the deep end of the clinch that we speak about in Thai boxing. That is the separator between kickboxing and Muay Thai. And he finally got that challenge where he got a fighter who is very known for clinching, and also a gym that's very known for being strong at the clinch. And in the first round, it was looking like, oh my God, okay, this could be the fight that upsets Jake Peacock's, winning streak. However, he turned it around. In round two, he not only was, doing well in the clinch, he was, doing his own little techniques. He was knee shielding, knee blocking. A couple of times he even turned. Third round, he started to find his range a bit better, of course, and realized that he needed to, strike and move, which he did well, because he didn't want to win the fight in the clinch. He wants to use his weapons. And then come round four, he gets a body shot, gets an 8-10 round. Of course, we went to the fifth round, and, Caleb only had one option to win the fight at this stage, which was to just drown him again like he did in round 1 or 2, to maybe get a 3 round to 2 rounds. However, Jake stepped it up like he always does and showed why he's the champion. Now, of course, he got the North American title, and for every good reason, he is the current and champion, I think, for a very long time.
Yeah, I think he's going to be tough to beat. There's a lot of good talent on the Line Fight roster at 147 and 154 pounds, and then obviously Jake's heritage, his family background will certainly make him a wanted commodity on our upcoming European show. So I think there's lots of good talent out there to face Jake, but he's looking like he's going to be very tough to beat. And I wanted to get your take as well on another success story, and maybe it's partially one of the bigger success stories of the night, and maybe partially one of the more larger surprises of the night. Taylor McClatchy handled business against AngelaWhitley. I don't think there were very many people who thought that A, she could win, and B, that she would put forth quite a dominant performance and really, especially at neutralizing Angela. Angela never really got out of first gear, and it was all Taylor pretty much the whole way.
That's right. There's one other thing I want to talk about after this, but let's talk about Taylor first, because she's a fine champion, again, winning the North American title. I was watching, her fights. I was watching Angela's fights, and, I thought, okay, well, this is going to be a really hard test for Taylor, because, from what I've seen, Angela, she's very aggressive. She's very powerful. She's definitely genetically blessed with strength. You can see on her shoulders, her this wide. She's much of what an athlete would look like, and very aggressive and dominating, and been in some hard fights in the past and just kept coming forward. And surprising or not, Taylor controlled the fight for 5 rounds. Any kind of time when Angela did push in and look like she was trying to control, she was relaxed. She just kept working in the clinch. They clinched up a lot, but they were busy. They were both, they were very even, I guess, in some parts of the fight in the clinch situation. Where Angela was kind of like trying to use her strength and pushing the face, which I did say on camera. You can see how she's pushing the face, which was the right technique to do to just make it ugly. But Taylor just sort of, made her moves and did that. But she picked up an extra skill, which she did say on our Lion Fight Zoom calls leading into this fight, that she wanted to, and especially in my pre-fight interview, she wanted to start throwing more leg kicks. She didn't throw leg kicks very often. And, when I have my notes like this, pre-fight interviews, and then I'm calling the fight live, it gives me so much joy to be able to go, okay, this person said this person is now executing this. And instead of me saying this person needs to be doing what they said they're going to do, I'm saying they're doing what they said. And I believe that those leg kicks actually won her the fight, because they were the separating, clear, smacking those legs. You could hear that, hear that slap ringside. You could hear the smacks. I'm sure on TV you could hear them with the volume turned up. So it was such a great win for her, and what such a sweet person. So it was good to have her now as the crowned queen, as Lion Fight North American champion.
And I think there's lots of good things that came out of that. Unfortunately, we did see an injury take place. I think in the second round, the Greer Silva fight, which an unbelievably dynamic first round debut for Jefferson Silva. And then the unfortunate injury, Ian Greer did well to get back on his feet after getting a pretty hefty knockdown in the first round. But, he came back, and then, like you say, the unfortunate injury. And I hope that at some point in the very near future, we could rebook that fight and have them truly settle it.
Yes, that's right, Scott. I mean, that's the fight. That's the second point I wanted to talk about, was that exact fight. So great minds think alike, they say. So you're right on point. What I wanted to say that was like one of the most surprising things of the night was the knockdown that he took. And then he got back up and his body was stiff. Like he was walking on his heels. He wasn't even walking. His legs weren't even working. Like he was literally, whoever didn't see it, go watch it. Whoever's seen it, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm calling this fight. I'm looking at this guy and he is like stiff. Like his body and brain were in two different planets. And he just managed to just walk it off somehow, get look at the referee in the eyes and say, yeah, I'm fine, which he obviously was in that moment, and then fought on through the round, defended, tried a couple of back rear elbows, and did exactly what he should do, made it through the round. Second round was kind of, like I said, much the same. And then obviously the third round to be a great fight. I feel like he was finding his range really well, and of course, dislocated the arm, and that would be another great rematch for the future once he heals up and recovers. But I think those two guys would. Yeah, I think they would do it because they would want it. I know that Jefferson Silva is such a great man. He would want a victory, even though it was a no contest in the end, because it was before the end of the third, so we couldn't go to the judge's decision. So of course he felt that he won because he did win in some way. However, he didn't get the collective win on paper.
Yeah. But I think both guys, Ian Greer, he certainly has been recommended and highly thought of as an up-and-coming fighter on the American, although he's from Brazil, but now lives in Texas. I think Jefferson Silva is going to be a name to watch for in American Muay Thai as well, as he is, they call him Muay Tyson, and he fights like Mike Tyson in Muay Thai. And
the thing is, I was on the bus with them going back to the airport, and they can actually go down a weight division as well. So he's dynamite into two different weights. Yeah.
So we have I guess we could say a quick turnaround. It's a little longer than the last one, but right back at it. Lion Fight 66, May 21st on UFC Fight Pass. Our final trip to Kansas for the start of the year. It's been really, really great to have an open situation like it has been in Kansas. The welcoming of the commission and the fans have been coming out to see us in Kansas. They were open for business very early this year, and it's been really good to get out into the American Midwest and get these 3 shows in and really get Lion Fight rolling on UFC. We have our third and final one, Lion Fight 66, May 21st in Topeka, Kansas. And talk about a quick turnaround. Steve Walker will be in the main event. He's going to defend his North American title for the second time in 3 months. Obviously coming off that incredible viral knockout win against Brian Collette. He's going to get another veteran this time in facing Devorius Tubbs. I don't know if there's much more that we can say, about Steve Walker, other than I know when you and I spoke with him before the fight against Collette, after that conversation, you and I said, wow, this is not a Steve Walker that we have really been introduced to before. It's a angry, aggressive, ready to become a fighter in the spotlight, Steve Walker. He certainly did that. And I think he wants to do it again. And I like this Steve Walker. He's still a very respectful guy, a real nice guy to talk to. But I like this version of Steve Walker when he gets in the ring, because it's about, I'm here, I have 2 belts, nobody's coming to take them from me.
Yeah, and exactly. I mean, a quick turnaround for him, but after 40 seconds in the ring, it's not too much of a problem. His last fight, that he did have was at Foxwoods against Chris Brad from Australia. Was a 5-rounder. He won most of the fight, but of course it was a 5-round fight. This one, 40 seconds, I believe, somewhere around that mark. It was all over. Didn't even get touched. The scariest thing about Steve Walker is that he does exactly what you just spoke about. Is, he's got this new sort of, I guess, obsessed mind of winning, but however, he does it so relaxed. He's not like in there like with an angry face, or he's in there like grunting and groaning. It's just almost like, whatever, like just super smooth. So that's what I did notice, that he was very much more headstrong and determined that that's what he wants and what he's going to get. But at the same time, being super relaxed and composed. It was almost like, is this guy for real or what? So, I mean, I think with Steve Walker, it's exciting. Even if we didn't talk about him, it's like, let's just see what this opponent brings, and that's what's really about. It's like, okay, let's just keep bringing the opponents. Let's just keep bringing the opponents and see what happens, because we know he's going to be magic. So it'll just depend on who shows up in front of him, and if they can, outclass his style. He has a very, I don't want to say awkward style, but he does have his own rhythm. Unorthodox sort of way of fighting. So it does throw people off. He's tall, he's long, he's confident, he's fit, he's explosive, he's dynamic, and all that as well. So it's dangerous for any man who's standing in front of him.
And you're in his weight class. I just thought I would throw that out there if we were
expecting. I know. I was like, I was watching his last fight. I went, maybe I can stay retired.
Let's shelve that comeback idea, right?
Yeah. Now, look, I'm the good thing about my.
But we're gonna have some fun, because we're gonna do. Go ahead, Nathan. Go ahead.
Sorry. What I was going to say, Scott, is the good thing about my retirement is now I'm excited about what I do. I love talking to all the fighters, getting to know them before every fight individually. I even go into the change room and wish every one of them luck before the fight. I'm there with them. I go do my thing on the mic. I have to say what I have to say depending on what I see. I'm not going to favor anyone. I'm also not going to say something that's great if it's not great. I'm going to call it how I see it and what I think is going on. But I think I've got the best job in the world now. I used to have the best job in the world, which was being a world champion. Now I've got the best job in the world. So it's exciting. And
I was going to say too, we're going to have some cool stuff to talk about, I think, leading up to this fight. We've got a new North American title tournament that we're going to announce very soon. We've got a really good women's fight on that card, and a handful of new fighters too. Some young guys that are going to make their debuts with Lion Fight. Zach Fox and Jose Rivera, Regan Gowing and Yasmin Salhani will be in a really exciting women's fight. So lots of stuff to come, lots of good interviews, lots of good chat to come. Everybody else as well, we will join you again very soon, and we'll bring you some updates on Lion Fight 66 coming up on May 21st on UFC Fight Pass. But for now, we will see you soon.